So it's finally here, UFC 303 fight week. After about a fucking 100 different cancellations, we finally made it to the week of the event. Now this card could definitely change before we actually get to fight night, but I'm just gonna pray that it isn't the card. The card doesn't change, and this will be the final time I have to do a prediction video for this. But let's start with the first fight of the night, which is Ricky Simone versus Vinicius Oliveira. Now, I see a lot of love for Vinicius Oliveira in this fight. I don't. Is he? He's getting a lot of picks in this, and I don't understand the hype, to be honest. He's not a bad fighter. I don't think Vinicius is a bad fighter by any means, but I think Ricky Simone's a big jump up from the untested Bernardo Sapai. And Sapai was winning that fight as well before Vinicius chinned him. And I know Ricky Simone is a chinnable guy. Like, he did get chinned by Uriah Faber back in the day. But, like, I don't know, man. I generally think Ricky Simone is just a better Sapai, right? He can win wherever this fight goes, I feel like. So, yeah, I'm going to take Ricky Simone to get this fight done. Okay, he can't win on the feet, let's be fair there. But I think he's going to get this one done. Probably by decision or late submission over Vinicius Oliveira, and yeah, that's how I'm gonna go for this fight. And now there's a fucking ad on my Tapology right now, so I can't see what the next fight is. Awesome. Okay, Carlos Hernandez versus Ray Tazura. Obviously, Carlos Hernandez is coming off that KO loss to Tatsuro Taira, which isn't a good look. Tatsuro Taira is a good fighter, but his striking's not that great. But still, he got chinned by him. He got subs by Alan Nascimento. Beat the fucking brakes off Dennis Bondar. Beat Victor Ultramano. He's not a bad fighter. He's an underrated guy, in my opinion. He's not a bad fighter by any means. And, Ray Tazura did get dropped in that fight on the road to UFC. Was that the final? Damn, they actually had the final on a road to UFC, not on an actual UFC card. I believe he got dropped in that fight, or he got dropped against Mark Clamaco. I can't remember. He is chinnable, in my opinion. You can chin this guy. But I think he'll win this fight. I think he can out-grapple Carlos Hernandez. Just because he's got a really good style of grappling. Taira... I think did Taira even get this guy down though? Like, I'm trying to remember the fight. Like, it could honestly be a good call to give Hernandez like an underdog pick here. But I think Ray Tazura's just got such good grappling that I can't rule him out here. He might actually be a better grappler than Taira in some ways. Not in... Obviously, Tatsuro Taira would beat the fuck out of him at this point. He's young, he's smaller. You know what? I might go Carlos Hernandez. I might. I just need to see the stats for him versus Taira. Fuck, holy shit, this pick has gone a lot longer than I thought it would. Let's quickly get this up real quick. Surely. Oh, he didn't shoot a single fucking takedown. He just struck with him. Okay, that doesn't help here. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with Rizu. I feel like if I don't pick this fight, I'm gonna feel like a fucking idiot if he wins. So I'm gonna go with the safe pick, which is Ray Taizura. Then we have Andrei Arlovsky versus Martin Buday. I think this is a pretty easy pick at this point. Arlovsky's done. This is probably his retirement fight. I'm going to go Martin Buday. By TKO, just due to like clinch strikes against the cage probably. I feel like you'll get Andrei Arlovsky out of there. Not a great fight. This is a pretty shitty fight to be in front of a crowd, to be honest. Arlovsky hasn't had an entertaining fight for years. And I love Arlovsky, but like he's just turned into a point fighter, or he's just a guy who gets chinned. Somehow had a competitive fight with Waldo Cortez Acosta though. So he's weird, he's tricky. He could definitely win this, but I think he's definitely on the down low at this point. He's like 45 years old, right? He's 45. There's a 13-year age difference. Martin Buday, he's a fat guy, but he's a decent guy. He's decent. He did lose to Shamil Gaziev, but Gaziev's not like a horrible fighter. He did get beat up by Rosenstruck, but that was like a big step up for him. Then we have Michelle Waterson Gomez versus Jillian Robertson. Interesting fight. Obviously, Gomez is coming off a pretty bad beating from Marina Rodriguez. And she hasn't looked particularly great lately. I'm going to go Jillian Robertson. Pretty mid-confidence here. I think she can win. She did pretty good in all of her fights, pretty much. She did sub Rose Namajunas in a grappling match as well. Can't forget about that. And Rose, coming off that win now over Ribas, I know obviously it's a grappling match, but I think Robertson, Jillian will get this one done. So I'm going to go Jillian Robertson here. Then we have Peyton Tauber versus Yanis Gamori. This is obviously a setup match here for Peyton Talbot. I think Peyton Talbot will get this one done for sure, to be honest. I'm pretty confident he's going to get this one done. Now, Gamori, he's got some decent KOs in Brave, which is a good promotion, but a lot of split decisions. Look at this one. Split decision to Novisky, split decision to Rashid Haz. Beat a 0-0 guy. He's not beating high level competition. Peyton Talbot's taking a big step down here as well, because he beat the fuck out of Cameron Simon, and Cameron Simon is much better than Gamori in my opinion. So I do like Peyton Talbot to get this one done over by TKO/KO. I think he's going to put a beating on Yanis Gamori, to be honest. Gamori did get that was an early stoppage with him and Gomez, but I think Peyton Talbot gets him out of there, to be honest. Moving back down though, so who knows how this goes, but I'm going to go with Peyton Talbot. Then we have Charles Jourdain versus Gene Silva. I don't understand the hype on Gene Silva. I'm gonna be honest here. He should immediately chin Weston Wilson, but it took him a while to get that KO. Beat Kevin Valges, but I remember that being a very competitive fight. And yeah, I don't think he's a bad fighter, but I just don't think he's that great. I feel like the hype train on him is a bit of, just because he's got a cool personality and a cool walkout doesn't mean he's a great fighter. While Charles Jourdain, he beat Ricardo Ramos, beat Kron Gracie, Lando Venata, Andre Ewell, Rojo, went to a draw with Kalibao, had a split decision to Andre Philly back in 2020 when Philly was like the man. Beat Doo-Hoo Choi, the Korean Superboy. He's got really good wins, man. And I definitely need to pick him in this fight. I think he's much better. I think this is a big step up for Gene Silva. He's going from Weston Wilson to Charles Jourdain. Do I have to say more? I mean, I probably do, and I will, but I'm just saying he's fighting fucking Charles Jourdain. He just fought Weston fucking Wilson. I'm never going to be able to get the Weston Wilson interview. Not that I ever wanted it, but respectfully, I don't want to... Weston Wilson's probably a great guy, to be honest. But he's not UFC caliber. And Gene Silva, it took him a while to get that KO. He should have KO'd him in 10 seconds, to be honest. But, I am overreacting a little bit. Brito didn't fucking kill him instantly, so, maybe I'm just being a fucking dick, to be honest. But I think Charles Jourdain will get this one done for sure, man. Cub Swanson versus Andre Philly. I've got to go with Andre Philly. He's much younger than Cub Swanson. He's 40 at featherweight. He's an old guy. That is very old for that weight class. He still looks very good, to be fair to him. Doesn't look horrible by any means, but I do just think Andre Philly's powerful enough where he can catch an aging Cub Swanson. But who knows? Cub Swanson arguably did win that fight against Tagim Dowdle. I know he did get the decision, but a lot of people thought it was a robbery. Arguably could have gone his way. I don't think it was as bad of a call as people made it out to be, but I'm going to take Andre Philly here. I just think his style at this point against an older Cub Swanson, maybe we see Andre Philly throw some powerful leg kicks too. I think he's going to chin Cub Swanson, unfortunately. But if Cub Swanson can fucking pull the clock back, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see like a vintage Cub Swanson performance here. But we might see a double retirement here with Andre Arlovsky and Cub Swanson. Then we have Joe Pyfer versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Interesting fight, in my opinion. Joe Pyfer coming off that loss to Jack Hermanson, which was like people call it a fraud check. I think it was just a step too soon. When you look at the guys he was fighting in the UFC, like he beat Al Hassan, they get Jack Hermanson, GM3, beat Alan Amadosky, the worst fighter in the world, at one point in the UFC. So not in the world, but in the UFC. Like Alan Amadosky was like not great. Let's just fucking put that out there. He was not a great fighter. He got chinned by John Phillips. I'm gonna go Joe Pyfer. To be honest, I think Joe Pyfer will get this one done. I think Joe Pyfer will chin Marc-Andre Barriault, to be honest. He looks really good, but his chin is like on and off. Like he's only been chinned once, I think. But like he got chinned so quickly by Chitty Njoku that I think Pyfer can sort of replicate that. Pyfer's got good body bags for a reason. I think he will eventually catch Marc-Andre Barriault and get this one done. But who knows, maybe Marc-Andre Barriault will come out K1 fucking ready and start kicking up his leg. And maybe he'll win that way, but I'm going to go Joe Pyfer by KO. Then we have Ian Machado Gary versus Michael Venom Page. Now, this is not a fight I'm super confident on. And to be honest, I think Michael Venom Page is better everywhere but grappling. And the thing that worries me about that is Machado Gary might just be able to take down Michael Venom Page and hold him down for 3 rounds. And that does worry me, because he could do that. We've seen Michael Venom Page get held down and not really have any answer for it. But we also haven't seen Ian Gary offensively shoot at all. And I'm not going to trust for him to do that. I think he will strike. And I think Michael Venom Page is the better striker at this point. Ian Gary's chinny. I think he is chinny. I don't think his chin's great. I think Michael Venom Page can catch him. He's going to have a reach advantage. We don't really see Ian Gary fight many people where he's got the bigger... Like, he doesn't really fight too many people with longer reaches. I might actually be wrong on that. I think actually he's fought a lot of people with longer reaches. Jeff Neal with 1 inch. I mean, obviously Neil Magny, but Neil Magny doesn't know how to use his fucking reach. D-Rod, same reach. I think Song has a pretty short reach, right? Tiny reach, and he caught him. I'm going to go Michael Venom Page. If this is just a boring tit-tat, like striking kickboxing match on the feet, I trust Michael Venom Page to get like a decision more than I trust Ian Gary. I think Michael Venom Page will do a bit more. And I think he can play that frustrating game while Ian Gary can, but I feel like if he is getting behind, he will sort of get a bit too aggressive, and that's where Michael Venom Page could catch him. But I'm not confident on this pick, but I am going to go with Michael Page. Could age horribly here. I do believe in Ian Gary as a prospect, but I do think he's very young, and I think Michael Venom Page could be one of the best strikers in that division. Because, yeah, he got chinned by Lima, but outside of that, it's just the grappling that's his default. His striking's pretty good. Then we have Mayra Buno Silva versus Macy Chayance. One of the only fucking fights that didn't fall through on this card somehow. I'm gonna take Buno Silva to get this one done. Macy Chayance. She is very underrated in my opinion. But she is very subbable. I think Mayra Buno can get this one done. I think she can get a sub. That's my prediction. Yeah, that's all you guys get. Like, I can't really... I could fucking flip a coin if you guys want. Okay, heads. If it's heads, I'm going Mayra Bruno Silva. Oh, fuck. It was heads. Okay, Mayra Bruno Silva is the pick. Easy. Alright, we've got that figured out. Okay, moving on. And they've decided to add another ad. Okay, Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Smith. Now, I broke this fight, actually. This was originally fucking Carlos... No, originally this was Khalil Roundtree versus fucking Jamal Hill. Somehow we've gotten from that to Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. I'm going to go Anthony Smith. He properly prepared a lot more for this fight. He is prepared. He had a week of extra preparation. Roman Dolidze is awful on the feet. I think Anthony Smith is just going to sort of jab him up a little bit here. Roman Dolidze is going to throw ugly overhands. Neither of these guys can offensively wrestle. Both of their grappling... Sorry, their grappling's good. They both have great jiu-jitsu. But to get to the fight to the ground, they just don't have that ability. Neither of these guys are going to get like a fucking double leg or a single leg in this fight. And if this fight stays on the feet, I'm going Anthony Smith. I really do think he's going to jab his way to a victory. I don't think this fight's going to be particularly great. But I think we see that vintage. Just Anthony Smith jab, 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 jab. And I think we see from Roman Dolidze overhand, 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 overhand. I think that's all we see from these. I think it's just going to be the jab versus the overhand. And I don't really trust Roman Dolidze anymore after these last few performances. He's very one-dimensional. Now, if Anthony Smith fucking shoots for a takedown and gets guillotined how he did Vitor Petrino, then he fucking deserves it. But I think Anthony Smith's going to win a fucking lopsided decision. That's my pick. Very confident in this one, to be honest. Very, very confident in Anthony Smith. Maybe a bit too confident. Then we have Brian Ortega. I actually think Anthony Smith's younger as well. Yeah, Anthony Smith is 2 weeks younger as well. Like, it's fucking crazy. Roman Dolidze obviously was on the jiu-jitsu scene for years before he did MMA. Then we have Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. I'm taking Diego Lopez. I'm not fucking doubting him. I picked Sadiq Youssef against him. I'm not fucking doubting Diego Lopez. He's powerful. Yeah, Brian Ortega did beat Yair Rodriguez, but he got dropped 2 times in that fight badly. And not just dropped by Yair, dropped with the hands. Yair don't have hands like that. His power isn't that good. And Yair Rodriguez generally hurt him so much before he sort of shat the bed in that fight. Respectfully, he did get taken down and then eventually caught. I feel like most times out of 10 that's not going to happen. Yair was beating the shit out of him. I think Diego Lopez is going to chin Brian Ortega. I think he's going to knock him out. Maybe not out cold, but TKO him. I think he's going to definitely knock him down in this fight. Neither have had proper time to prepare. Brian Ortega's talking about he had a lightweight fight at the Spear, booked against an opponent and everything. So, don't know how true that is. Maybe he's talking shit. But, I'm going to go Diego Lopez. I think he is used to the short notice grind. We don't really see Brian Ortega in too many short notice fights, to be honest. I think that weight cut's going to hurt Ortega more, especially if he's talking about moving up. He was probably bulking or something if that was the case. So I think that weight cut's going to be worse for him. I think Diego Lopez, he's a fucking pro when it comes to these short notice fights. Even though he is big and explosive, he knows he can make the weight on this short notice. And I think Diego Lopez is going to knock him out, to be honest. I trust Diego Lopez. Like I say, maybe not completely out cold, but I think he drops him and maybe tees off on him against the cage, and then gets his hand raised. Then we have the main event. It was originally meant to be the notorious Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, but instead now we have Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prohaska, and I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira again. This is a rematch. They have barely any time to fucking prepare. Neither are in shape. Alex Pereira may be a bit more in shape. We've seen Yuri Prohaska apparently looked you know, a bit pudgy when he was at Octagon like a week or two ago, which ain't a good sign. Alex Pereira has apparently got a broken toe, so that's also not ideal here at all. This is a weird fight, but Alex Pereira was, you know, kicking up the legs of Yuri Prohaska, and it didn't seem Prohaska fixed that at all against Rakic. Rakic was sort of owning him before he did chin him and break him. So I'm going to say Alex Pereira just chins Yuri Prohaska fucking again. But mate, it's going to be harder though. Yuri Prohaska's a dog. He is a dog in there. He's got that fucking dog in him. He might shoot some takedowns again. Maybe, who knows, he slams Pereira. Pereira's fucking toe explodes. And then Yuri Prohaska wins by toe fucking injury TKO. But I'm going to say Alex Pereira eventually catches him with that left hook after kicking up his legs. So I'm going Alex Pereira to get this one done over Yuri Prohaska. And yeah, that's my predictions for the UFC 303 whole card. Some Phantom of the Opera type shit, man. Like, generally fucking cursed card. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, the card's not horrible by any means. But definitely could have been better. But I think circumstances, it turned out quite alright. But anyway, yeah, that's my predictions. Make sure you like this video. Let me know your predictions. Let me know who you guys are picking. What fights would you have liked to have seen added to this card? And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.